Hello everybody, this is a Lamley showcase. We're gonna make this a tradition. You're looking at the only two Ferrari pre-production models that I purchased. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico at the Matchbox Convention. I last year bought a couple of vintage Ferraris and I had to go ahead and do it again. We'll talk about these in a little bit because I'm here with this guy. Hey. Jason Meeker, you remember him from last year? Do you remember you from last year, Jason?
Barely.
I've
changed physically and mentally.
You know, we'll continue that chat later.
I think I've grown a little. I've grown a little.
We'll again another time. But we're going to stay focused on the cars today.
I think that's for the best.
Thank you.
I think yes.
I think that's great. If you guys remember, and I'll put a link to this video. It was awesome. I got great feedback. We had Jason last year. He and I got together and did a video on, what was it, 8 dots, right? You were kind of educating me on 8 dots and rarities in the 8 dot world, which was so nerdy, but so awesome. And
fun.
And I said, we need to do this again. And we kind of flirted with a couple of different topics, but we've landed just because Ferrari has been such the talk in the diecast world this year with Hot Wheels getting Ferrari back. I was like, it would be cool to get a little education on Matchbox and their history with Ferrari. So I did a video, already posted that, kind of creating my own Ferrari starter pack, right? With one of each casting is essentially what I did. And there's a link to that video as well. But I thought, in order to go more in depth, let's go to my resident historian, Jason. That's pressure, right?
I don't have a PhD or anything.
Well, you kind of do. Anyway, if there was a degree.
I'll have to look
Jason came over from Phoenix, and we had a great video last year, like I said, and we do this again. I think you guys will enjoy this. All right, so I actually thought, if you don't mind, so I bought these. Paul Carr brings over some awesome Lesney stuff from his time at Lesney, and I saw both these. I want to talk about both these castings because the F40 I kind of consider maybe my favorite of the Ferrari castings that Matchbox did. We can talk about that one in a little bit. And this really isn't about the cars that I brought. Really, this is more about the cars that you brought. But I thought maybe we could use the 308 as a starting point. He had this white pre-production, never made it to market 308. And I thought, and so I asked you, did you bring any 308s? And
yes, I did.
Okay.
Here's
your collection over here.
Yeah, I got me his little baggie, so bear with me. This one here is an R308. It's from a 3-pack that they didn't go ahead with.
Well, okay, and sort of to preface this, everything that you're going to show today is pretty rare, right? Or they have stories.
They have stories. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say the other.
Let us know if they're rare, because it's always interesting to know, any of this stuff.
Yeah,
so this is from...
I'll speak louder if they're rare.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, was this one produced?
Well, those were a color trial run.
Okay, so this is a pre-production as well.
It's a pre-production, yes. I mean, it's all riveted together. It's got complete base, just because the molding had already been done, so they had a year and everything on it. It was part of a 3-pack along with an F40 and a Testarossa that they were going to do.
Were they going to be the same colors?
That's the way Ferrari wanted it. They wanted them all to be in red, but Universal Matchbox first tried them out in these different colors to make it pop more in the 3-packs. And it was supposed to come out, I think, in 89 or 90 was the 3-pack planned.
Yeah.
But the project just got...
because they wanted it red.
They wanted them red. So
and they were just like, why should we keep doing red cars in a 3-pack? Was that...
Well, they got switched to red. They did end up...
Oh, they did end up doing it.
Yeah, but they just got red, but they were just the basic cars.
So what were the models that... So it was obviously going to be the 308.
308, and then if you want, I can bring in...
Yeah.
Then we got the blue, the F40 in metallic blue.
Yeah.
So that's a color trial pre-pro again. So that's part of the trio that we're going to show, and that's the second of it then.
One of these popped up on eBay, and I wanted it so bad I just missed out.
I'm sorry. I will be keeping track of this.
I won't complain because I got my little chrome F40 that I think was just a test run, or they were just testing colors.
That's really nice though. It really jumps out. I like that chrome one. Yeah.
It is. It almost looks like one of those Zamac models, but I think it's technically like a dulled chrome that they were just to see what it looked like on. That's what Paul told me. At least
it still looks good. It would have been a nice little design change from the red. I mean, the red's nice, but the red just gets that's what we're just all used to.
Quite a bit, especially in this era, right?
It's a
so this blue one, obviously, it's a beautiful car, And of course, it's 8 dots, and it's very interesting
Yes.
to me. So, so the pack was going to be this yellow 308, this blue F40,
and then the white Testarossa.
Look at
sorry.
Oh, that is so Miami Vice too.
Yeah, I know. That's a what was that? Crockett and Tubbs. Was that
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah, Sonny Crockett and what was Tubbs' first name? I don't remember. Someone will say.
Someone
it
can put
in
in
the
the
comments.
comments. Actually, I'll hang up the gloves.
This one. So, tell people how you acquire these. They pop up, right?
Yeah,
Occasionally.
that's going to be actually an annoying story. Those were actually put up. I got those back in the early 2000s on eBay. Someone just put them up, the 3 of them. It's in a regular auction style and didn't describe them as pre-production.
Really?
So
But you knew.
I knew there was something special about them. I did not have a single one of them, and yeah, they I got them at a very reasonable price.
Come on, tell us.
$85, I think it was.
For the total, for all 3.
For all 3 of them, yeah.
That would not be what they'd go for today.
No. They're I'd probably say that trio now would maybe we'll see, maybe creep past 500.
Wow.
Just because they're because the subject matter, the Ferrari and special colors, and it was a canceled project, and they're true pre-pro color trials, and they're riveted together, so they weren't sprayed in anyone's basement.
Yeah, it's not. They're about as legit as it comes. Like in terms of
like this, like these too. These
Yeah.
are the color trials. They were just trying them out.
Yeah.
Well, it was like that. But yeah, that's why I say I just happen to be there at the right time. I mean, that doesn't happen for me too often. And it was back in the early days of eBay. Well, in the early 2000s, and I was just there at the right time for it.
And those are cool stories. I like, hearing there's like someone was in a garage sale and there's something in a big pile of cars or something like that. You hear those it's kind of like the modern version of is like that eBay discovery that no one really realized what was there or something like that, which is
exactly. It's fun. I mean, that sticks in my head. Right when you told me that, I go, yeah, I remember how I got these.
Yeah,
because it was a real score.
Yeah. Gloves were a terrible idea. Okay, well that's a great place to start. I mean these are probably the cars that, like, any of those I would try and snag myself, and if I ever, like I said, the blue one. I haven't seen the white Ferrari. I saw like maybe one, but it didn't have the Ferrari deco on it, so it might have been some sort of trial.
Yeah,
and they pop up occasionally.
I'm not sure. I can't remember if when they did Star cars in the late '90s. I wasn't sure if they actually finally did it. But
not with the 8-dot wheels on it or anything like that.
Yeah. I think it had different wheels, but I think it had like Miami Vice on the hood.
I remember that.
I could be imagining that.
No, you're right. You're right.
I haven't seen those in a while, but
you're right. No, that's absolutely.
So they might have actually ended up putting it out. Yeah.
Okay, let's park these over here, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, in the exotic parking.
Yeah, there we go. And I'll put my little. And like I said, color trial. I don't know exactly what it was. I think Paul might have said it was a same thing, maybe for a multi-pack of some sort or something, the white one as well.
Oh, well, maybe it was maybe they were trying different colors.
Maybe they were.
To try to appease Ferrari. Maybe that was just another one of the 3-packs.
Yeah, could be.
Or, there was so much stuff, the showstopper sets, maybe it was part of that. Or
Nonetheless, now I have a white 308, I have a white F40. I want to get a white, I want to find this white Testarossa, and then I do want to get that. Okay, but let's keep on going. I'll just kind of let you, because there's some awesome stuff to kind of go through.
Well, I thought we would jump back in time now.
Let's do it.
To 1968.
Let's do it.
This was the introduction of the Ferrari Berlinetta.
So I had one, right? I only had the red Superfast version that I showed in my video.
Yes.
And this is very much like, this is about as classic a Matchbox as it gets, right?
Yes, that's the regular wheel version. Has kind of.
Why don't you walk us through because you've got 3 of the variations with you, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Put them all out. Let's walk. Okay. You've got 4.
I'll show you.
Yeah, walk us through this, because I think this is. And when people you can look this up. There'll be cajillion on eBay or elsewhere, but you want to kind of know what you're looking at here too. And I know these can be faked too, right? I hear that a lot.
The Ferrari.
Yeah, or no.
Maybe the green Superfast one they try to do, but there's always usually a way to tell.
All right, walk us through what we're looking at here, because this is cool. Because I had a version of this one that I showed, but let's lead up to it.
Well, this one would be, this was the second version of it to come out. Came out in this like kind of bluish green color, but they ended up painting the base on this one silver. So this is actually a very...
So was the first one a raw base?
Raw base, yeah, unpainted. This is a very hard to find version of the regular wheel with the wire wheels.
Okay.
If it has a silver painted base, it's very hard to find. I might classify it as rare of the regular wheels, because they usually would have the unpainted bare base that they just
But this was the first color.
That was the first color. There was a color that was a little more bluish, and then that got a kind of bluish green, and then but this is the color you see the most of. Is kind of lightish macaque green, and then they finished it off in '69 in this dark green with disc wheels and an unpainted base. And boy, I hope I don't have that backwards. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think that
the wire wheels were first, right?
Yeah, the wire wheels were first, and the disc wheels were later.
And this is clearly like a much darker color.
Yeah, it's kind of like a metallic Kelly green.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good way to describe it, but the base is unpainted on it and has these kind of special disc wheels on it.
Yeah.
And then actually what was going on when they switched the model to Superfast, they retooled the base. And if you look at the base, they...
And I showed this. Yeah, okay, so it's nice to do the comparison, because I showed that mine has the Superfast like right there at the bottom there.
And you also notice, but they removed some detail, which was...
Oh yeah, they did.
It's good they removed the tow hook. They changed the mold of the interior.
Oh, that's right.
Cut off the tow hook, but they also took off the exhaust stacks, the pipes, the rear exhaust pipes.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it kind of they lost the tow hook, which was good, but they also took off the exhaust.
Did they scratch those out maybe because of the wheel wells? They had to cut in a little bit further. Is that what it was?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. It might have been that, or well, it could have.
But then, I mean, they could have just still had it anyway, right?
I don't know. Because it is a little. Well, my fingers won't really point, but yeah, this one is a little narrow, and this one's a little deeper.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could have been when they were just totally retooling the base, because they they had a cast Superfast. It kept the text the same, and then still had this what's called the toe box in the front. But the first ones to come out that you'd see were red.
Yeah. This was the first Superfast.
The first transitional Superfast from the regular wheel to the Superfast retooled base.
So to explain this, just for those that don't, so the Superfast, this has the Superfast wheel. It's kind of like a sub branding for Matchbox, right? It was, and I've heard that Superfast was kind of a bit of a response to Hot Wheels. Kind of thing.
It was definitely a response, because when Hot Wheels came out, the sales just dropped dramatically. Because the regular wheels, these two models, the first two green ones we showed, they would not roll as fast, of course,
as Hot Wheels,
as the frictionless wheels of Hot Wheels. So yeah, this was their answer. They quickly, in the course of a year and a half, had their engineers come in and retool the bases. They chose which models they were going to continue on, because they wanted to keep the costs down. So they took a lot of the regular wheel bodies and they just changed out the bases. Yeah, retooled the bases. But the thing was that, so they call it a transitional. So it's a regular wheel transition to a Superfast.
Got it.
But then there's another story to it. Even though this was the first one you'd see in the stores in red, it would either have a silver painted grille or a plain red grille.
Mine was plain, I think.
Yours is plain, okay. Yeah. The plain shows up a lot. The silver is a little detail.
A little more rare.
Yeah, it was mask sprayed. They didn't have anyone hand detail it, because sometimes the headlights don't line up really well. They're like too high or too low.
Right.
But Leslie Matchbox in London, they never wasted anything. So if they already had regular wheel green bodies painted up, and they had them in a bin, and if, say, they came across them or they already knew they had them, they would not repaint them, even though they hadn't been riveted. They would just take those green bodies and go ahead and fasten them, have them spin the rivets, and put them onto the new Superfast base. So this is a transitional, but it's a rarer transitional. It's more rare because it's a regular wheel color body that they had in stock, already done up, just fitted to the new Superfast base.
So, okay, so two questions.
Does that make sense? Sorry.
Totally makes sense.
Okay.
It's like a transitional model.
Yeah, double transitional.
Yeah. And So of these four, would this be the most sought after for collectors of that era?
I'd say yes. Yeah, the green one. The green Superfast transitional.
Superfast.
It. I don't know the exact numbers they would have made. It usually, when it goes up for sale on auction sites, it can range from. Well, of course, if it's perfectly mint, I'd say maybe 250 to 400.
So it goes
I know
up.
it's a big range, but it can get up there. Sometimes they'll get past 400. I mean, it just depends on who's really in demand, what kind of condition it's in.
Right.
I mean, the red one with the masking on the front is kind of sought after also with the masked silver mask paint, just because it was a nice detail they put on it. But then again, just the red one with or without his box still hovers around $100.
Yeah.
And sometimes past that, just because I don't think the red ones were in short production. I know the green one was, but I'm sure they did a big quantity of the red ones, but it just seems like there aren't that many floating around there. Maybe they were played with too much and they were messed up. And a lot of problems that you're going to find is if you look for a red one, check it closely because they were prone to chipping a lot. In fact, mine here it has a little chip right there on the headlight cowling. It's kind of hard to find a perfectly mint one, you know.
Well, they're what, when was
late 69, it was 70, so we're
approaching 60 years old.
55 plus years old.
I know.
Yeah, I know. It's if you drop them a few times, it doesn't help either.
It happens. Yeah, I get that too. I get that too, and I'm actually petrified of dropping them. Okay, this is awesome, and that's a really exciting. It's nice to see these in person too. I got to put these in order.
Yeah, and I'm hoping I'm not getting that messed up. If anyone catches that, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that the lighter one came out before the green one.
Got it.
I needed to refresh my memory. I'm getting older, so...
you got a few chips on you, too.
Yeah, I do. So I think it was in this order these would have came out, but if it's the other way around, I apologize.
That's awesome. All right, what else we got?
Well, okay, I brought a model that they did in 1970.
I'm really glad you brought this because I did not include this in my starter pack.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'll come over here because, well, I didn't have it, and I was pursuing red Ferraris, and I wouldn't have ever thought of this one, and even in the research I was doing, just real basic research, like my research is like typing in Matchbox Ferrari in Google, and but
it'll bring up something.
It brought up a lot, yeah. Depending on, but not all of it was useful. But it's, but yeah, I would have never thought of this one, and so I'm eager for you to describe why you brought this.
This is a fun one. I'll just get them out of these little bags. I had to put them in these little bags because when they're in these 48 car cases or these little, car cases, they can get kind of messed up. So apologize for the delay.
No, you're good.
But yes, I'll bring them over here. We'll start out with this is known as the number 34 Formula One racing car is what they just called it.
Can I turn it over?
Yeah, it's. Do we have it? It's based on the Ferrari 312.
Yes, it's Formula One right there. Okay.
Ferrari 312B is what they based it on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they just didn't want to do the licensing on it or didn't want to get their permission, but it's very close. If you look up the Ferrari 312B, they're very similar, and that's what they were going for with it. So I think if you buy this, you're still buying a Ferrari. It's just the basis won't say it.
You just have to know it. Did they ever do? Oh, pull out some of these others.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. They did so many crazy changes on this. This is a model that has variations galore. That's why it's a fun one to collect. And you're gonna see this one has like 4-spoke wheels on it. Then they, for a short time, fitted these are called Spyro wheels.
Okay.
And then these were the same color, but sometimes different shades. And then there's casting variations. If you want to look on the back here, if you see on this one here, see how the pinkish frame goes all the way down?
Oh, yeah, all the way down.
And then it stops because they were having some problems with the assembly. So all future models had it shortened so it can be put together faster. Because it was like when they were coming out of the machine and being tumbled, the casting wasn't coming off. It was a little too rough and it wasn't dropping.
It
was harder to get down to the base to rivet it. So that's a little casting variation of it for other than wheels, colors.
Yeah.
And then it just started getting crazy after that. A U.S. promotional, U.S. and U.K. was for wins.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they just took the basically
It's the same car.
Yeah, the darkish pink one, and put WINS labels on the side.
Yeah.
And it's a code 2 model because
Explain what that is.
Lesney or Matchbox supplied the models. They put the labels on, and then they were blister packed and sold in the U.S. and some in the U.K. I can't remember what WINS is. I think it's either an oil service company or a gas station. I got that wrong. I'd have to. But that was done on later casted bases. But you can find these on blister packs, and they're very desirable.
Really?
It came out in like '71, and it's just this is really cool because it kind of gives that extra '70s vibe, early '70s.
Sure.
The WINS logo, the way it was. So
that's cool. That's cool.
And then, like I said, it gets even more crazier because then they switched it to a beautiful metallic blue for a racing gift set, and they gave it fatter, like 5-spoke slick and Maltese cross wheels in the front. I call those slicks because they had this like kind of center line,
right.
which you call a slick design, and so the wheels got fatter on that. But you can also find this blue one with the narrow 4-spoke wheels.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't even look at the width, but yeah, I can tell that's a much wider tire on it.
So you can go back and forth. You can find these wheels on this blue one.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, so you can still find the narrow wheels on the blue one, and then but you can I never seen just these pink ones with the big wheels on yet because they'd already switched over. Because this blue one was more found in a gift set, a racing gift set called it was the G4 racing gift set. So there's a blue one, and then we jump over, and they changed the color again. They went to an orange.
Wow.
And then they did a crazy thing to drive people even more crazy with the variations. They put the big fat 5-spoke wheels in the back, and then they kept the narrow 4-spoke wheels from the early ones in the front. Or you could find the big wheels in the back and the big wheels in the front, like the blue one.
Yeah. Could you find the narrow ones too? Narrow in the back?
Yeah, you could find narrow in front and back on the orange one also.
Wow.
And there's... Sorry,
and
am I putting this in the right spot?
I think so. Yeah, you're going in order. And I think one thing that I think is interesting, because we're so used to now, collectors today, of like casting is made, and then you'll see, 1 or 2 colors of it, the first year. And then the next year they release it in a completely new deco, right? Yeah. That's not how it worked with Matchbox. So these color changes were a big deal.
It was. I mean, and when you came across it, I'm sure they got really excited back then in 1970, 71, 73.
These cars were typically, like the Ferrari in green, like the Berlinetta, they were typically released the same year, or year after year in the same color.
Over and over. Yeah. They were getting really long in the tooth. Yeah.
Okay.
For the prancing.
And that's it's hard to explain it, but that's what you were used to. So and I'm not saying you and I were, if we were even alive, we were
one.
Yeah. But you didn't expect it to the color to be changed. It's just not how it worked.
I'm sure it was very exciting when you saw these in gift sets, and you're like, oh, now I got to get this gift set.
I can get a different color. So these were big deals when these new colors came out.
Yeah, I bet you they were. I mean, I've just. And then I know that a lot of them were running changes, so they were just trying to ease the production. Because they, one other point about this model, because there's so many variations of this. Yeah. There's you can find over 40 different versions of this. They did what's called a streamline on the back. See that kind of line right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't on the early versions.
Oh no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not even on the WINS version, which I think was the last one. It was in this mauve. So they did this streamline here to give it a little more detail. Yeah. And then, but you can also find it in orange with no streamline, in blue with no streamline, and with different wheels. So there's so many permutations,
right?
So many different ways you can try to find that. And I know I don't have. I maybe have maybe a little more than half the variations I can find out there. But it can really
be annoying and
mind-boggling.
Yeah, yeah.
Because then they did it in yellow.
Wow.
And this came after the orange, but now you notice this one has no streamline, fat wheels, but he now has an amber-colored windscreen rather than a clear windscreen.
Oh, yeah.
So that was another variation they put into it. Then they would also, this one has a 15 label with the blue, of the yellow arrow on the blue.
Right.
This is blue arrow on yellow. They would sometimes take the 15 label, put on this one, or they take the 15 label, put on this one. They'd switch them around. And then they started going a little more crazy. they still had stocks of the old 16 labels from the first ones that came out in 1971, well, late 1970, of the 16, and they put that on some yellow ones then. So, and this, it just, there were just massive amounts of this Formula One racing car, which like I will say is the Ferrari 312D.
Yeah.
That you can hunt for and collect, and it'd make it really fun to look for them.
Absolutely, and I can imagine getting the different decals, getting the different wheels, getting the different bodies, like all that.
It was. I think that's what made the hobby really fun too. And it's different shades. Look, this one's lemon yellow. This one's more yellow.
Right.
I mean, David Tilley, he'd love that. He probably already has that. He's probably watching this and going,
"Yeah,
I already have this."
Yeah, exactly.
And then changes to some video about a documentary about Jaws or something. I don't know, the 50th anniversary.
That's probably what he's doing.
You can edit that out if you want.
Yeah, eating
But
KFC.
I'd say of all these here, the one that's going to be your toughest to pin down is going to be the wins.
Yeah.
Especially on a blister card.
Yeah.
That's the nicest way to find it. I don't have it on a blister card, but I know that's how it was initially sold.
Yeah.
Next is going to be the blue one.
Just in general, the blue one.
Yeah, in general, the blue one will actually go for more than the wins. The blue one can
Because
go,
it was in a playset?
It was in a playset, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find people have busted up the playsets and they put them in picture boxes.
Right.
So you'll see them by themselves sometimes in picture boxes, but I mean, you could find, there'll be like 4 different variations of this. The thin wheels front back, the big thick wheels, streamline, no streamline. Possibly they'll change the labels on them. Actually, there could be like 6 or 8 versions of that. But the blue one I think is the most prettiest. That's the one I like the most. And
it is really pretty.
It just pops, and it's I think it's going to be the one that they're going to be really focused on getting, and that'll be the first one to get.
This is a rat. So we'll put this here. This whole collect. Well, it's not in order, right? I mean,
You want me to put them in order?
Yeah, put them in order.
All right.
And then we'll get to what else you got.
Oh yeah, here. I'll do this real quick here.
We're on we utilize this whole map, but we're on a very small hotel table, so we've only got so much space to put these in. We don't want them rolling off. So
yeah, luckily we have a level. The hotel is really well made.
Whoop, or whoop.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be terrifying.
Yeah, we don't want that to
that'd be
happen.
really terrifying.
We'd be really regretting doing this video.
I think that's okay. Then as the 308 then came out.
Yeah, let's get back to the 308.
When that was finally released in 1981, this was its first. Where do you want to put it?
Right there. Put it on the sidewalk here.
Oh, all right.
Right there. Here, I'll move mine. I'll move these up.
Well, I'm sure we're gonna. I forgot. Okay, yeah, the light will.
Yeah, right there.
So yeah, there he is. They put him out, and
This is like 1981, I think, as I saw the.
early 1981.
Yeah.
And this is the most common one you're going to see. It's going to have these 5-arch wheels. They're wide. The reddish orange sometimes didn't match the top and bottom halves because they painted them sometimes at separate times.
Right.
So they might have different shades. So that was the real issue with this. Is that a lot of times they didn't match.
Because they have that black stripe is that part of the interior?
That's part of the interior too, yeah, and it forms the vents in the back of the engine.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, it was one of those 2-half pieces,
right?
Those multiple duties.
So they would paint these 2 pieces. Like this one almost has some, it has some like little paint.
Oh, it has some missing on it.
Yeah.
Okay, well yeah. But it's sometimes the colors.
So they just have 2 separate pieces that painted at different times, and they would just rivet them together.
Yeah, sometimes they match, sometimes the colors wouldn't
match.
match.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And a thing you have to look out for when you're at toy shows and flea markets or whatever, or online, you ask to see a picture of the base. If you want to get a pre-production model that they put a lot out in the wild, you look for. You see up here, it has number 70.
Let me grab it. I'll put it up close. Yeah.
Number 70 was its release number.
Yeah.
But when they were originally planning it, they were planning it as number 8. So they had a whole bunch of bases tooled up with the number 8 on it, and then the year was
right over here.
Wasn't complete because they weren't sure when they were going to release it, in 1980 or 81.
Yeah.
So the year would actually be 198. Well, it wouldn't even be a full year.
Yeah.
So you're going to find these. You're going to find red orange ones. And if you flip them over and you find with a number 8 base and 198, an incomplete year. That is a pre-production model.
How cool!
Yeah, they didn't.
And they're out, and they're out there.
They're out there. They're out. I think a lot of them ended up in the U.S. because I found 2, and I found them both from U.S. sellers, and they're out there. They didn't.
Wow,
they didn't waste
fun.
anything. They didn't waste anything. So you could flip those over, and you can get a pre-pro in your collection, possibly at a really cheap price. Because no one pays attention to it really.
Oh, that's a cool little secret.
Hey, I'm happy to share.
I'm going to go look tomorrow.
Everyone
here probably knows.
I already got mine in my collection, so I'm sharing it. I don't like competition. So
You got it. Yeah, yeah. You're sharing it because you already have.
Yeah, I'm all set. Good luck out there. Good luck.
I get it.
But next they jumped then, late in 81, they decided to, spruce it up a little bit. And they put the prancing horse emblem.
Yes.
And they put Ferrari tempoed on the side, camel printed. And it went...
Same color, right?
Well, it's a little more reddish now, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it got a little orange or something.
Away from the orange and it's getting a little more red. You're not going to find the pre-pro bases on this one, though. They had already corrected
So it's
that.
these plain red ones here that we're
the plain red orangish ones.
Yeah.
Flip them over. They will not have the tempo design. Those be plain red orange. Flip them over and look for that number 8 in an incomplete year, and you're going to get a good pre-pro.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm going to.
That'd be fun.
Definitely have to do that.
Then you have bragging rights.
Yeah, if someone has some success, they're going to have to let us know in finding it.
I would like that. I'd like to see how many are more out, because I know that they probably ran like maybe 500 to 1,000 of them of those bases.
Really?
Yeah, that's why they didn't waste them, because that was the original plan. And then, maybe not 1,000, because they didn't have the year complete. But they make mistakes like that. They're going to put them out there. They forget to complete the die on it to finish the year.
Right.
And they're not going to throw them away. They're just going to paint them up and get them out of there.
That's so cool.
And hope nobody catches it.
Yeah,
or if
that's
they
so
do.
cool. Yeah, who cares, right? Almost in a way.
So this is kind of a fun one. It's a little more fancier. The emblem I know is really huge for that.
Well, all this from that era, like the big emblems were a big deal. Like it seemed like that's what they did a lot. I mean, all of these are loaded up on them too.
Look at this one. Your the yellow and that one's actually more tame. Your white one is really kind of normal, but this is really
they're big
out there.
They're big.
And then when I finish off, this is a model that you might overlook. Oh, well, here we go.
Bring that.
I'll bring him down. Bring him down.
Yeah, right. I see. Well, I see this red and silver or this red and gray combo a lot in my searches.
Yeah. You're gonna come across a lot. You're gonna think, okay, this is actually a hard to find model.
Okay.
And let me tell you're gonna think, no, I see that all the time.
I do. I see that combination on eBay a lot.
Right. You may, but again, by flipping it over, and it's to me this is important. It's actually more of a silver base.
Yeah.
And it's a Lesney England base. The ones that you usually see the most of are the top orangish red, kind of a grayish silver, but it's made in Macau when he was already taken over by Universal.
Yeah.
They still had some of these, and they were still putting them together, and they were tired of the problem of the bottom and top halves not matching color, so they painted the bottom silver.
Just to avoid
the mismatch.
Yeah.
But it'll have a Lesney England base, and a lot of people pass over it, and they don't think about it.
So your message to us on the 308 is look at the chassis.
Oh yeah, flip it over. Flip it over just for fun. Because it's I know it may be hard to display, but that extra detail. It's like a little extra secret out there.
And when you know,
yeah.
right? So
yes.
If you see an all red, no emblem on the hood, flip it over and look for number 8 and 198.
Yeah. Incomplete.
And you got a pre-production. And the other one is if you see the silver chassis or the silver base, turn it over and look for Lesney.
Yes, look for the Lesney England cast iron, because that's a scarce one to get. They only ended up dumping. Sorry, I don't mean to use that term. I was thinking of how they didn't dump them. They ended up distributing them.
Yes.
I'm thinking of some other obscure model earlier. But they ended up distributing mostly in the rest of the world market, like the UK and Europe, in blue window boxes. So you're not going to find them on blister card in the US. They were going to be in those blue window boxes. So that's another way to help you determine. Because that one that's made in Macau that looks very similar to it, even down to the emblem on the roof, is going to be on the U.S. blister cards, but it's going to have the Macau base. You want to look for that silver Lesney.
So we're looking for silver with Lesney, and we're looking for number 8 on the all red. See, this is cool. And then the other one's a blue F40 or a yellow. I mean, you're just going to know. But this other stuff, So this is great, and then of course the transitional Berlinetta there is really cool.
in the green. Yeah, that's a.
And that's kind of like, if it gets on eBay, the person who's selling it knows what they got. Typically, I would imagine.
Sometimes you'd be surprised. It just gets put up as a Berlinetta.
Yeah.
If like I say, once you know,
you know. Yeah. This is awesome. Any more?
Other than this guy.
Oh.
Here. I'm sorry we are going out of sequence, but this is one a lot. You can still find this one. He's pretty fun. He's cute. He's online, and
I have seen this one pop up, and I need to get it.
It's the Toy Fair,
especially as an F1 collector. Fair. So explain this one to me, because I see it, and it's like, it's got this big 1993 Matchbox on it, and it is a Toy Fair model, huh?
Yeah, it was Tyco's first year
when they took over.
From a Universal.
Yeah,
and it's nicely done in black. I like it in the black, and it's like one of the first times that they had the two company names, Matchbox and the Tyco, because on the same car as a promotional. It has a detailed rear end. I'm sorry, brake lights and a license plate.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. You'd find them in they came in.
Be seeing you.
Yeah. They came in the sometimes yellow grid boxes from that era, or a lot of times. Most of the time, they're just gonna come across. You're just gonna find them loose in poly bags.
Yeah,
they're out there. They made a lot of them, but it's a great one having a collection, because I think it looks really sharp in the black.
It is really sharp in the black. Yeah, and I need to get my hands on this one and I've seen, like I said, I probably can find it now. Maybe I need to buy it before I put this video out.
Sure. You can. Yeah. That one's. Yeah.
That's my little secret, right? But this is cool, and I think too, especially, there is something about right now the F40 is particularly hot. I don't know if it's because Liberty Walk did their modifications and it's just a cool car. I mean, why? I don't know. Maybe I'm overstating it. It's been cool forever. Yeah, it's been cool forever, right? The F40, but Hot Wheels put theirs out. So people are excited. I think the Matchbox F40 is an all timer, and there's a lot. I like the 8-dot cars, and so that's what I'm most interested in. But there's a lot of other ones out there, Premier and all the other stuff.
Oh yeah, there's so many others. I mean, of the especially with all the different designs of the F40 they did on the Premier lines, and then the same with the Testarossa. And then when they came out, the new F50 and I think it came out in '95. That had a pretty good run.
Yeah.
And then the 456 GT, which came out in '94.
And then it was the 360, and that was it, right?
Didn't they do the 318?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Or did they? I don't know. You know better than me.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I already did a starter pack. Well, this is fantastic, and this is exactly what I hoped we could do when I said, "Hey, let's do Ferrari," and we'll let the collectors, maybe for next year, if there's anything they want. I mean, we're in your sales room here, which is...
It's a bit of a mess now, but hey, there you go.
There's so much stuff. I haven't even shown it. It's, there's quite a bit of stuff here, and there's quite a bit of knowledge in your brain, and it's really fun to kind of, just kind of learn about this stuff, if anything, and so I think covering Ferrari and a little bit of these more interesting models, and including this, what do they call it? Is it the F1, or what do they call it?
Yeah, it's Formula One
racing car, but that it's actually
Formula One racer,
unofficially a Ferrari. Hey, Jason, thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. It was great again.
Good.
I really wish I could have kept the gloves on, but it got a little too sweaty.
Yeah, and those of us who we know what we're doing.
I'll bring work gloves next year.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
One of those.
Let's think about a topic for next year. We'll maybe get the collectors to give us some ideas.
Yeah, I'd like that. I mean, I'd be happy to take any advice. Only on cars, not on my wardrobe or how my hair, or the lack that I haven't trimmed up my beard. I don't need any of that. I get it from my wife. I don't need any advice.
You look wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll just stick with the cars. Jason, thanks again. Let's do it again next year.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
You got it. Bye.
Bye-bye.